Key witness in Mayo abduction case arrested. All right, and it gave me a breakdown. I'll give you all the breakdown it gave me. What changed? Mexico's federal prosecutors arrested Fausto Corrales Rodriguez in Mexico City on August 19th. Corrales drove Héctor Melesio Cuén to the meeting where prosecutors believe Ismael and Mayo Zambada was abducted on July 25th, 2024. Corrales originally claimed Cuén was later shot during an attempted vehicle robbery at a Culiacan gas station. It already feels like they're looking for an excuse on why they tried to tell us that the man was shot in a gas station, and they tried to show us a video of the man being shot in the gas station, and it wasn't true. This is just me off just reading that. This sounds a whole lot like, let's figure out this plane situation. We don't got a pilot. We know an American flew this plane, so what we need to do is tell everybody we threw the Mexican guy back over the fucking fence. He got locked up, he came back, and now we got him again. That sounded like that was some cleanup shit there. That's what this feels like already to me off that first line. Corrales originally claimed Cuén was later shot during an attempted vehicle robbery at a Culiacan gas station. That account became the foundation of Sinaloa's initial murder investigation. The FGR now accuses Corrales of making contradictory statements, withholding truthful information, and allegedly helping conceal Cuén's killing. Where'd he get the video? He gave y'all the video? What are we talking about here? He made the claim. I can understand that. He said, hey, man, no, he got smoked in the gas station. But where'd y'all pull the video out your ass? You AI'd the video? Did you send two paralegals in a motorcycle and one of your paralegals with a truck so we could see a nice fake ass robbery in a gas station that didn't happen? This shit already sounds weird. This is the first major arrest directly attacking the gas station robbery narrative surrounding Cuén's death. I need to know about his first time talking to the feds. I need to know about him talking to them about the gas station. So evidently that was just an interview and not an arrest. Corrales is reportedly the only surviving central witness who accompanied Cuén towards the alleged meeting with Zambada and Joaquin Guzman Lopez. His prosecution could help connect three disputed events: Cuén's killing, Zambada's abduction, and the alleged effort to construct a false official account afterwards. It does not prove who killed Cuén, establish every detail in Zambada's account, or demonstrate U.S. involvement in planning the abduction. Corrales was arrested, and that the FGR alleges contradictory testimony and concealment. Who gave us the video? State government or fucking Corrales? Fausto Corrales, witness to the kidnapping of Mayo Zambada and the death of Melesio Cuén, arrested. Arrested for what? Because he lied to the state government, or because y'all got to put that shit on him? All right, this is him right here. Oh man, he don't got no tattoos on his forehead. He don't got no scars on his face. I don't see a diamond chain. He don't got a AK-47 over his shoulder. Oh no, this guy's just a politician, right? He's not a cartel guy. Fausto Corrales, the man who accompanied Héctor Melesio Cuén Ojeda on the day of his murder and witnessed the kidnapping of Ismael and Mayo Zambada, was arrested this Wednesday by the Attorney General's office in the Granada neighborhood of Mexico City's Miguel Hidalgo borough. The arrest was carried out pursuant to a warrant issued by a federal judge. The charges include concealment regarding the homicide of Cuén Ojeda and making false statements to law enforcement authorities. Who made the false video? The video is now what the pilot is in that other story, the kidnapping story. Who made the video? Who got the video and fed it to us and said, this is it? Forget the statements. They can say anybody said a statement. For making false statements to law enforcement authorities. Who is Fausto Corrales and what did he witness? Corrales Rodriguez is son of Victor Antonio Corrales Burgueño, whatever the fuck. The former rector of the Autonomous University of Sinaloa. That job is Héctor Melesio Cuén's at this time. On July 25th, 2024, he accompanied Héctor Melesio Cuén Ojeda to a meeting at the Huertas de Pedregal Ranch, located on the outskirts of Culiacan, Sinaloa. It was at this estate, also known as Santa Julia, that according to FGR investigations, Cuén Ojeda was murdered and Zambada was kidnapped and forcibly taken to the United States. Both events occurred simultaneously. The arrest of Fausto Corrales Rodriguez marks the first concrete procedural step forward in a case that has seen no arrest for 2 years. It sounds like you just bent the block and went and got somebody that you could put this video on. Where'd the video come from? According to the FGR, the witness made contradictory statements and withheld truthful information, thereby distorting the facts and obstructing the investigation into what actually happened. Whoever did the video did that. Now, if he told y'all the video or he told y'all the story and said, hey, listen, this is what went down. We were at a gas station and they tried to rob him. Right? You can say that. Now, if the state goes and they run, they say, man, we need a way to nail this down. I gotta make a video about this shit. And they fed us a bullshit video. Just more proof of what we already know, that most of these state jobs and government jobs are bought and sold. But where'd the video come from? You could say he made the statement all day. Who fed us the video? I'm not getting enough information out of this shit, man.
Too much information and shit
that they're keeping from me. Because I want to know what he was arrested. Okay, he's arrested for making a false statement. Who made the video?
Look, Fausto Corrales Rodriguez, it seems to me, is the only piece the Attorney General's office has in its hands today to, I believe, begin to assemble a puzzle that has practically turned into a muddle over the last 2 years. The capture, or rather the kidnapping of Mayo Zambada, the murder of 4 of his bodyguards, and obviously the crime of Héctor Melesio Cuén that day at the meeting on July 25, 2024, at Huertos del Pedregal estate in Culiacan. It must be remembered that this investigation has been ongoing for 2 years. And they have requested information from the United States about what happened that day, but they haven't provided much, or rather, nothing at all. And on the other hand, the Attorney General's office also let go of at least one important piece of this matter, which was the pilot who transported Chapo Guzman's son, Joaquin.
They let go. They let go the one guy that could have told them everything. He wasn't there, bro. I don't think he was there.
Guzman and Mayo Zambada to New Mexico. They had him detained here in Mexico and finally sent him to the United States along with other deported inmates a few months ago. Thus, this piece of Fausto Corrales would be one of the most important elements, let's say, to be able to reconstruct what really happened the day they extracted Mayo from Mexico. There are even versions pointing to the fact that, well, they are also investigating whether or not there was a presence of any United States agency, be it the FBI, the DEA, or another, or the CIA.
This video, who gave us this video, bro? Huh? Did Corrales give us this video?
In the days prior to and during the execution of Mayo Zambada's kidnapping, above all, prior to the plane's takeoff, which departed from a clandestine airstrip less than 10 kilometers from the Huertos del Pedregal estate, where Mayo Zambada and Melesio Cuén were taken. According to the investigation that Jose Luis Montenegro
So
and
look,
I
if you
carried
guys
out
don't
for the
see,
book,
there's the 2 guys on the motorcycle. This guy's in the car. They jump out. La moto.
the 4th transformation of organized crime. This meeting was organized by the
And now it's done. Dude runs off.
governor of Sinaloa on leave, Ruben Rocha Moya, at the request of the Chapitos. And at the last minute, Rocha Moya
So
decided
that's just a video of somebody else getting robbed. What happened to that poor guy? Who made this bullshit?
not to go because, according to the sources we consulted, he knew the true objective of that meeting, which was not to smooth things over with Melesio Cuén and the governor, but rather to tie up El Mayo, kidnap him,
Who
and
knew
hand
that?
him over to.
Who says he knew that? Corrales says he knew that. Stop.
Decided not to go.
Oh, Rocha Moya decided not to go. Let me see. See, this guy's giving Luis Montenegro's book. Man, this fucking shit. Everybody got money attached to it, so it's hard to trust everybody. You know what I'm saying? This guy's writing a book. That guy got a show. This guy, and it's like, I'm just hearing people's theories.
Transformation of organized crime. This meeting was organized by the governor of Sinaloa on leave, Ruben Rocha Moya, at the request of the Chapitos. And at the last minute, Rocha Moya decided not to go because, according to the sources we consulted, he knew the true objective of that meeting.
Okay, if y'all remember, we covered Luis Montenegro's theory from his book, The Fourth Transformation. But they also, aren't they the guys that promised us this audio of hearing, meetings and shit like that? Like, everybody got a book for sale. I'm going to have to write a book, man. Got to do it. This is when he said that Rocha knew what was happening, so he didn't show up, but he knew what was going to go down. And he knew what was going to happen to Cuén. He knew what was going to happen to Mayo.
Which was not to smooth things over with Melesio Cuén and the governor, but rather to tie up El Mayo, kidnap him, and hand him over to United States authorities as an element that at the time was considered important for Joaquin Guzman Lopez to be able to negotiate with U.S. authorities and become a cooperating witness. Ultimately, El Mayo Zambada did not serve this purpose because they considered in the United States that the handover of El Mayo was illegal due to the way in which El Mayo reported that he was kidnapped at the place where he met with Joaquin Guzman Lopez.
Corrales would have been the person accompanying Melesio Cuén. This arrest, Ricardo Ravelo, should lead to more arrest warrants against other participants or accomplices.
I think so, Pepe, because here there is, this whole meeting was, as I tell you, organized by Rocha Moya, and there is no investigation in Mexico against Rocha Moya regarding that case. In the book, we reveal audio recordings prior to the event, to the incident that occurred on July 25, 2024, in which all the logistics of how the meeting was going to take place, the time, and so on, were being agreed upon. El Mayo arrived very punctually at 8 a.m. and Melesio Cuén was already there. Rocha Moya
They keep talking about audio. I didn't hear no audio. Are you giving me transcripts of audio? That's a different thing. I want to hear voices, bro. Show me El Rocha's voice. Show me Rocha's voice on the recording talking crazy. But I don't understand this arrest of this guy. This sounds like he's another patsy. If you already spoke to him and then he gave you a false account, why are you arresting him now? And what conclusion did you come to that didn't allow you to arrest him in these 2 years? Did something become clear between the United States and Mexico that they can't hide from, that make them pull this move and say, we got to make an explanation for this video and this shit? Or am I looking too deep into it? Am I asking the wrong questions? It feels like there's no information about this shit.
Too much information and shit.
Oh, the guy gave us a false report, okay? Who gave you the false video? Who published the false video? Like 298 said, the state did, the prosecutor did. So which one of you motherfuckers is going to jail?
You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail.
He argued that he had left for the United States and that he knew nothing about the matter, but he did not prove that he had left for the United States either.
We know it. We know all of that. This is just a commercial for Luis Montenegro's book, bro. You see, they didn't barely talk about the Corrales dude, bro. They just repeated a bunch of shit that we know already. If you're going to use this arrest to point the finger at Sinaloa's prosecutors for doing this, go for it. Good for you. That's what got to be done. We've obtained a testimony that left us cold when we heard it. This is the testimony of a few eyewitnesses to what happened on July 25th, 2024. The day Ismael and Mayo Zambada was kidnapped. Yesterday, the Attorney General's office arrested Fausto Corrales Rodriguez, the driver of Héctor Melesio Cuén, who allegedly accompanied him on the day he was murdered. Corrales was arrested in the Granada neighborhood of the Miguel Hidalgo. Hold on, you gotta slow the fuck down, and I know you gotta relax. He was arrested in the Granada neighborhood of Miguel Hidalgo district in Mexico after an arrest warrant was issued against him for covering up the murder of Cuén and making false statements to the justice authorities. He drove Héctor Melesio Cuén to the meeting at the place that the kidnapping happened because Héctor Melesio Cuén and El Mayo had been summoned under the pretext of resolving a conflict between Melesio Cuén and El Rocha. See? All right. Very, very tricky what they just did right here. the person that they got the witness testimony from is not even this fucking guy Corrales. It's somebody else that will remain nameless and confidential. A fuente, a source. The witness who reveals the details of those events in a footnote, pie de nota, is a central part of the structure of the Chapitos, of the Sinaloa cartel. So it is not this guy. This is what this was framed as. Am I wrong? He just said it clearly, but they put in the title, oh, we got this groundbreaking information, and they put that guy's face that got locked up, and then it comes from some guy that nobody knows from nowhere. He said, we interviewed this witness days before the arrest of Corrales. So we're not getting word from Corrales. We're getting more word from somebody that says they were there. Do you guys remember when it happened? And I don't know, months, maybe a year later, we saw the supposed guy that was supposed to go get the cocas, that was supposed to be there with Mayo, that was supposed to be in the, at the gate when this whole shit went down. And it was just some guy in a mask and he told some bullshit story. This is just a continuation of that, bro. They've been dragging us along. That's what they do. Do you ever think they'll get Rocha? Yeah, he's going to get him. He already got himself. Lo cagó el gallo. It's time for him to go get his fucking shine box. He's going to be polishing in prison. But he seems to think he's going to be able to go back to his seat. He could have put on a mask and gave the statement he's about to give us. I thought we were going to hear something official from the guy that they arrested that was there. All of a sudden, Luis Enano has witness testimony for somebody that was there. And this happens to be his MO. Because do you remember when the plane ended up at the museum? A day later, he showed up with a source and a story. And he put those two things together too. They're lying. All of these guys are the guy on the back seat. And they'll say, Shy, it's marketing, I guess. So is propaganda. Propaganda is marketing too. According to this magic invisible person, the first to arrive at the place of the meeting were Fausto Corrales and Melesio Cuén. The source maintains that Cuén had intervened to arrange the meeting and that there was a prior relationship of trust between him and Mayo Zambada. According to the source, confirmation of the meeting came through political channels. According to his account, it was Enrique Diaz himself. Who the fuck is that guy? To whom he describes as a personal friend of the family, a friend of the Guzman family. The governor of Sinaloa, El Rocha, who is currently on leave, hiding. He understood what to do to get the views and is exploiting it. That's what they do. Here's my way of exploiting something that happens in the news. You ready? I go live about it. We talk about if it's bullshit or not. The witness claims that he detected something out of the ordinary before Mayo even got there. There were men who did not belong to the group that were there. The source reveals they wore different tactical gear, carried weapons, and behaved in a strange manner. Sounds like they want to say, America, fuck yeah. I think that's what they want to do. I mean, with everybody going down allegedly, I really feel like Rocha would have been brought down by now if they had any sort of evidence on him. He's probably good. Good where? He good in Mexico. We don't have just a jurisdiction to be walking in and taking motherfuckers, though we do it. He's good in Mexico. They're protecting him there, but the U.S. wants his ass, right? Now, I will say this. We do know that all of the guys that he ran with, they too were indicted. And all of them started turning themselves in, right? And do you guys remember the guy, Merida, that we used to talk about? And we used to say he's always in Rocha's ear. He's always in Rocha's ear, the general. Well, I got an alert yesterday. General Geraldo Merida, released from prison in the United States. Former Sinaloa Security Secretary accused alongside Ruben Rocha Moya of ties to Los Chapitos is no longer in the custody of the Federal Bureau of Prisons, although his case remains ongoing. Y'all remember this guy? And we used to say that this guy would be in the background whispering in dude's ear. And he turned himself in, right? And the news is saying he's been released, right? Because they can't find him in the BOP thing anymore. Well, what do we know about that? Where's LaBarbie? Can you find him in the BOP? I don't believe this guy's been released. This guy is working out a deal. And I believe the main head that he's going to place on the platter is El Rocha. General Geraldo Merida is no longer in the custody of the U.S. federal prison system. Is he home? Is he back in Mexico? According to the Federal Bureau of Prison, he was released on August 11th. General Merida, who was the Secretary of Public Security in Sinaloa between 2023 and 2024, is accused, along with Sinaloa Governor Rubén Rocha Moya and 8 other officials, of working for Los Chapitos, the faction of the Sinaloa cartel led by the sons of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. The 66-year-old military officer surrendered to U.S. authorities in Arizona on May 11th and pleaded not guilty. At his initial appearance before a judge, he was scheduled to have a hearing in early August, but it did not take place. Why? Now, although his legal proceedings are still ongoing, he is no longer being held in prison, raising the possibility that he could be cooperating with U.S. Witness Protection System. He's still there. He's just being moved around to where they keep these guys safe. Yeah, that's it. I don't even need to talk about him no more, just so you know. So yeah, they're on his ass. Put it that way. He's in danger. Let's go back. Let's see what this guy is bullshitting about over here now. Because I'm disappointed that I'm not hearing from Corrales. I thought I was hearing from Corrales. This guy don't even got a name he's talking about. Pierre de Nota asked if his suspicion was that there were agents of the United States government. The source could not provide certainty. No, he can't provide certainty. He leaves it as a suspicion. Later at Mayo, we arrived with 2 people, an escort and his secretary, and that's where the operation began. The source maintains that after being subdued and removed from the property, the situation spiraled out of control. Cuén was wounded by gunfire during the exchange of bullets between bodyguards, and both Cuén and Fausto were detained, tied hand and foot. So Cuén got shot and lived? According to this magic man that don't exist, okay? Both Cuén and Fausto were detained, tied hand and foot. According to testimony, no, it's not testimony. Is it testimony if it's not to a judge or a jury? Is it testimony if it's an asshole telling Luis Chaparro? But I don't like that he calls this testimony if we can't get... It's testimony if the guy fucking put his hand on a Bible and we knew his name. So he was alive after being shot and they applied a tourniquet to his leg. He remained in the place for an extended period. Now he's not testimony. Now it's the interviewee. Not the witness. The interviewee also claims that Cuén and Corrales were given water, which contained a substance that altered their state of consciousness, left them confused, half asleep. That's what the source says. This source cannot establish exactly where Héctor Melesio Cuén died. What it does reveal is that when he was placed in the truck that took him from that place, Héctor Melesio Cuén was still alive. The interviewee maintains that Fausto Corrales did not voluntarily participate in the construction of the gas station version. He claims that Corrales was threatened and forced to drive the truck in which Cuén was transported. The witness himself, his character I'm telling about, is part of the Chapito structure, claims that he traveled in the back of the vehicle armed with a long gun and watching Corrales. There's a moment in the video surveillance footage of that blunder. So wait a minute. Maybe I'm going to believe Chaparrito Hernanito's fucking source this time. Because he's basically saying what I said. Now, I got to look at the back of this truck, but this is what he's saying. He's saying his source says that Corrales was coerced into that story, and supposedly that was him driving the truck to go make the video. So what's the timestamp on that shit? This sounds like a bunch of Mexico bullshit. Mexico just tell you whatever the fuck they want to tell you, boy. But so does America. So if it left him confused and half asleep, how's he driving? See, this doesn't add up. What it does reveal is that when he was placed in the truck that took him from that place, Héctor Melesio Cuén was alive. Who's driving? How long was it? Did he sober up? Did Corrales sober up? The interviewee also maintains that Corrales did not voluntarily participate in the construction of the gas station version. He claims that Corrales was threatened and forced to drive the truck. I don't know, he didn't look high. He didn't look like he was in an altered state of consciousness. They're trying to make us believe that Corrales was driving that truck and that there was a guy in the back of the truck with a long gun. It's possible. It all adds to my theory that this is all a fucking lie, just like everything else we fucking run into. He was threatened and forced to drive the truck in which Cuén was transported. The witness himself, this character I'm telling you about, is part of the Chapito structure. Claims that he traveled in the back of the vehicle. So Corrales is driving and the witness is in the back of the truck. So is Cuén in the passenger seat? What are we talking about? Before entering the gas station, the truck makes a brief stop. According to the witness, it was precisely where he got out of the vehicle. He claims that he later boarded a municipal police patrol car. But wait, the testimony goes even further. The source maintains that after El Mayo left the place, the deputy prosecutor of Sinaloa arrived and claims that he participated in subsequent decisions. This shit just went crazy. He said that prosecutors arrived after El Mayo left the place. He's saying that the prosecutors showed up there to make decisions. That's how close if you believe this guy, that's how close the corruption, the community, and the politics are. And claims that he participated in subsequent decision makings related to what would happen with Cuén and Corrales. This is a very serious accusation. I must tell you, it's only an aversion. The pointing out of a witness is not yet a judicially proven fact. This is according to the Pie de Nota investigation and the testimonies of other witnesses. Months after the events of July 25th, an armed group allegedly attempted to kidnap members of Fausto Corrales' family in Chapultepec neighborhood in Culiacán. According to those interviewed, the target was his wife and daughters. When they failed, the armed men took his mother-in-law and brother-in-law away. Coño, man. The suegra, maybe, sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes, you gotta take the suegra with you. The brother-in-law reportedly suffered from extremely serious injuries from the blow he received during that incident. To this day, he remains in serious health conditions. Pie de Nota confirmed that Fausto Corrales was neither a fugitive nor in hiding. He traveled constantly between Mexico City, Monterrey, and frequently entered San Diego in California for personal, family, and business activities. Almost everyone knows the rest of the story. The mayor was ambushed, kidnapped, taken to Santa Teresa, New Mexico, or El Mayo, to be handed over to the United States. Yeah, we know the rest of that shit. And Cuén was shot to death. Yeah, but now according to you, we don't know when, we don't know where. Corrales was driving. Corrales made up the story. He didn't make up the story. We got more questions now than we had before we got into this shit. But that's usually how this goes. The arrest of Corrales is the first step forward. Step forward to where? A case that was already buried by the prosecution. Well, let's hope that Sinaloa state government has to fucking answer for all this. So here, the official story from the Fiscalia, the prosecution, is that Melesio Cuén pulled up in here in a truck, pulled up here, and he was shot in the gas station. What Enano's telling us is that the witness was laying in the back of that truck. And Corrales, the driver of Melesio Cuén, was forced to drive Melesio Cuén's truck, pull up to this gas station, and get fake assaulted. Do you remember me telling y'all when we first watched this video that a gunshot didn't go off in that cabin? This was all to make it look like that. Now, if this witness is true, I believe this witness is forced by the prosecution to fake this video. This is it. I didn't see it stop. They just cut the video to there. So supposedly Melesio Cuén is driving this car. Supposedly it's Corrales, and somebody, the Chapito guy, just jumped out of the back seat over here. Now he's gonna get fake smoked right here, and dude's gonna pull off with the nozzle still in the car. Look, this is supposedly it. Nothing happened there, bro. They got in, they got out, he drove off. I'll give Chaparro's witness a little credit, because this was always bullshit to us. We got more questions than answers. We'll see what Mr. Corrales brings to the table.